we traveled to Chapada Diamantina, and it was a outdoorsy episode. We kind of experienced a lot of really beautiful places, and so we thought we'd just gonna talk about it a little bit. Well, it's good to have you here today. Actually, today we're here with Alexandra all over.
Hello.
What do you guys think? Maybe at the comments, let us know which one is your favorite place in Chapada Diamantina and where you would like to go next.
When we decided to go to Chapada Diamantina,
everybody says, go there, it's amazing.
Yeah, we drove through the wild and scratched our car and...
But we stayed one night in a place, a hotel or so, and then we managed the next day to actually find something really beautiful.
Yeah, we were looking for a waterfall, Cachoeira Ferro Doido, I think it was called, and we flew the drone there, and that looked really amazing.
Wonderful place. What I enjoy so much is there was not that much water because we actually came in the dry season, but the water that was there, it was extremely red. So for some reason, it seems like, I don't know where that red's coming from. What do you think?
They say iron.
Iron, okay. And we were hanging out in those cliffs and have some really wonderful shots of that place. Check it out.
The place was called Morro de Chapéu, and that little town was kind of cute. We stayed at a posada. They had like cows walking on the street, and it was really nice. I liked it.
And somebody pointed out to us that there's a huge cave nearby, and we should definitely go there and check that one out. What was that called?
The cave was called Lapa Dulce.
We parked our car there, and we had to take ourselves a guide, and we had a very interesting guy.
His name was Giovanni.
Yes, and Giovanni, he was, we had to walk to the cave. It took like about half an hour or so, and he gave us a tour about all these beautiful places around this area.
He explained everything to us. He showed us how to crack some nuts. He explained stuff to us about trees, rocks, obviously, because it was a cave. He had some cool stories. I remember walking down that path was really steep, and yeah, it was kind of hard to walk, I feel.
Yeah, it was quite interesting because everything was so red. So we were in like a completely new environment. Cacti everywhere and red soil and red rocks.
But yeah, he showed us pictures on his phone about like old shells and some fish that they found inside the cave. So we couldn't wait to get in there finally and see all of this that he explained to us.
This is the entrance of our cave right here. And this is where we're gonna go inside now for the next hour or so. And you can see this was a dome that collapsed, and so everything around here was had a roof, and now we are able to come inside. You can see there's all kinds of little holes and caves, and then this is a very big one, and we're gonna go in there with our flashlights for maybe an hour or so. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. Who knows what all these things were? If you look at this, almost, you know, we know our theories, especially what I see up here is a lot of bark, tree bark, and then obviously here you have the old tree that is falling apart, and then these things that are growing down. You never know, right? Why is it so black? The guy said it was fungus, but who knows who lived in these caves, huh? We never know. That's why we're gonna experience it right now. So you guys follow us into that cave.
At times, once we were in, it was, first of all, it was huge. It was like a real echo, right? Once we went inside. And once we were inside, it was like pitch black. We couldn't see a thing. So we all had a flashlight, and Giovanni, our guide, knew exactly where we should like direct it to, or where we should stand to have like cool shadows or photos. That was really nice and fun.
Yeah, we took some really nice shots there, and Yeah, I guess the filming it was dark, so I'm not sure how much you can see, but it is quite an experience to go to one of those underground caves. This one was just an hour tour in the cave. You can actually book a tour that is 8 hours.
8 hours.
Right.
That's
and then
right.
I think, do you sleep in the cave as well?
I don't know.
Sometimes I've heard some people are able to sleep as well. But apparently this is a really popular cave, so.
Oh yeah, Lapadosa is super popular. We even saw dinosaurs, and Paul was trying to ride a horse.
Dinosaur, who knows? Maybe dragons lived in that cave, we don't know. But on our way out, it looks pretty spectacular. We went out on a different side and you can see, the sunlight coming in. And then we had actually the most interesting little coconuts that we ever had, right? It was quite an interesting treat. They sold them there.
Yeah, they're really good.
And it's kind of like little nuts, like almost like, what are they?
Hazel.
Like hazelnuts size.
We were walking out the cave.
So we left the cave and we finally found a spot where we can go camping. We haven't had too many camping experiences yet in
I think it was
Brazil,
our
but
third camping.
at that time our third camping. First time we were able to test out our camping chairs. So it was really cool. So finally, we actually made it camping. It just took us to drive like 3 days to end up somewhere where we can do some camping. And this is it. So, as I said in my story, camping it is. And we're here actually in a national park. It's a huge thing. Can't really see much here because there's like mountains all over us, and it's just that right now you can't really see the mountains because there's a lot of trees here. First night camping, and this is it. This is where you sleep in the car. We still have Ellie inside here, and she's like covering up right there. It's perfect. And this is where we're gonna put our stuff because, we can't just have the stuff anywhere. So we have to put it in the front so that we sleep here in the back. All right, this is us camping.
Yeah, so it was the next morning. I remember I really wanted to sleep because it was raining all night. And it's actually really loud when you sleep like just a few centimeters under the roof. So I was really tired in the morning, and Paul was like trying to do his selfie video.
That day we were finally able to go on a longer hike. We were hiking to a huge waterfall, and that hike actually took us a couple of hours. What was the name of the place?
Cachoeira do Fumaça.
And that was just a wonderful nature experience. So many different flowers. And sometimes I just said, I feel like I'm on a set of Lord of the Rings or something like that.
Yeah.
And we just hiked for hours.
Lots of bushes, plants.
Yeah, and we didn't see many people at all, even though the weather was really nice. It was perfect for hiking. And then once we reached the waterfall, we could see and stand on those cliffs right next to it. It is actually dry season, so there's almost no water available right now. But this is my shadow up there, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it took us 2 hours to get there. And we were so exhausted, but we wanted to take some cool pictures. Like, emphasis on trying to take cool pictures because it was really scary being up there. Like trying to get closer and closer to the cliff.
I think the footage that we have there is really nice. Also, there were some ponds where you could swim just before the water goes over the cliff. That's kind of weird, but the water is always again super red, so that's a very typical thing there.
That reminds me, the colors when we walked down, it was already getting dark, and they said we're not allowed inside once the sun goes down because they don't want to lose people up there. So it was a 2-hour hike, so we had to hurry up to get back down. But it looked spectacular with the sunset. And remember that one mountain we saw in the back?
Yeah, we had a mountain right in the back when we walked towards the sunset, and it just looked like an old ancient tree stump, one of those petrified ones, and you could see it like perfectly. You just look at it and you see like it was just cut and standing there.
Super straight.
Super straight. So the nature there, fantastic, and you can just imagine what has been there before. So I would really love to know. What do you guys think? Right, city of Lençóis.
Yeah.
So this is a very interesting city because it's built right into the mountains and it's super steep. and has a lot of old buildings. But I don't know if we have a lot of shots of those places. But what was really nice was that hike that is just right further above the city of Lençóis to that Cachoeira.
Cachoeira de Primavera.
Exactly. And I think there's multiple ones. So if you guys want to try and check that out, you can use Map.me. It has some really good hiking routes to that location. And also, what do we use? iOverlander, we use that sometimes. And these are two apps. We can have the links in the description. I was talking about it, we found a snake. Yeah, apparently down there is a snake in the water.
There was little waterfalls where Paul took a swim. The snake, I think they took away, like one of the guides took the snake because there were people trying to swim in that little lagoon.
And then, yeah, on our way back, I took a nice swim at one of the waterfalls.
Super strong stream.
Yeah, it kind of hurt my head a little bit, so that was it. And then went swimming a little bit in that location. And yeah, I think that was it. That was our final day at Chapada Diamantina. I know there's so many more beautiful sites in this location, and we just didn't really have the time to check them all out because we decided we wanted to go north to see
Jacobina.
Jacobina?
Well, eventually the dunes of Lençóis Maranhenses.
Yeah. We didn't want to go north for Jacobina, but the dunes of Lençóis Maranhenses. Alexandra already has a beautiful video about that. It was our 1 year anniversary.
Well,
not the two of us, but of our travels.
It was the 1 year anniversary of us being in Latin America.
That's right. So we had left exactly a year before that happened. And so Alexandra already put that video online. And I guess on our way there, we stopped over in one more city. What was that name?
Jacobina.
Jacobina, which was Alexander did a hotel review, and it was the hotel with the most beautiful view. I just discovered that this hotel even has a helicopter landing pad, so you can totally fly here with your helicopter and then check out the place.
We had one more stop on the way to the dunes. I'm not sure if you want to mention that. It was in Teresina.
Yeah, so we're driving up north, driving towards Teresina. We stayed there for a week and prepared for our next adventures. So if you guys want to see more next week, go ahead and subscribe here to the channel and then check out the video here that is coming next. We guys see you then. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.